I don't know about you, John, but for me, this right here is just one of the most gorgeous parts of Venice. You're right along the Grand Canal, essentially, and you get to see all the other little islands out there. But you're also right by all of these gondolas, and if you ever see any pictures of Venice, like postcards, this is always the shot that they get, right here. Everyone comes to Venice for the gondolas and the Grand Canal. But this is the Venice I keep coming back for. This is Castello, one of the 6 Sestiere, or neighborhoods, here in Venice. If you look at a map, you're going to see that Venice is shaped like a fish conveniently. Castello is the tail, and it's pretty much where I spend most of my time, mainly because all of my friends happen to work here. Oh my God. You remember these guys? I mean, my God, how can you forget them? So if you are going to do the Baccaro thing, the Baccaro crawl, I would suggest you go to this neighborhood. This is Cannareggio. So just like I did for my other favorite neighborhood here in Venice, Cannareggio, I'm going to take you on a little tour, showing you some of my favorite hidden and not so hidden gems. We're going to start here on this lovely waterfront promenade, Riva degli Schiavoni. I kind of like to think of it as Venice's front veranda. I mean, talk about curb appeal. For most visitors, this is the grand entrance. They step off their water taxi or vaporetto and walk straight into the island's biggest party. So we're here in St. Mark's Square, which is basically ground zero for Venice. You have the Doge's Palace, the Basilica here, and you also have some of the oldest cafes in the world, including Cafe Quadri, which is where we're going right now. But that's a cool thing about Castello. It's the best of both worlds. You can be on the edge of the action, or not. Our first stop is just steps away from St. Mark's Square. But before we get there, a little insider tip for you. This is the Bridge of Sighs, connecting the Doge's Palace to the former prison. Legend has it, as the prisoners were being taken across, they look out those little windows and sigh, knowing this might be the last time they'd ever see their beloved La Serenissima. So I'm gonna take you to one of the most popular Instagram locations here in Venice. It's right down from the bridge that looks at the Bridge of Sighs, which you're gonna see in a second. See people standing right here, and you've got all that in the background. But I have to tell you, there are so many other places that are beautiful. You just have to get out into the neighborhoods and you'll find your own spot. But it is kind of a cool spot. This is the breathtaking Hotel Danieli. It's one of Venice's most exclusive properties, built in the 14th century for the powerful Dandolo family, which included 4 Venetian doges. Enrique Dandolo, famous for the Fourth Crusade and basically sacking Constantinople, now Istanbul. We're actually up on the restaurant level. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful view. So one of the great stories about this prison is that the original old prison was in the basement of the Ducal Palace, which is that white building right there. This is considered the new prison, and this is where, well, new as in like 1700s, but this is where Casanova escaped, and this is actually the roof from which he escaped on. Just a few feet down the Riva is another Venetian jewel with an incredible story. Buongiorno. This is the Hotel Metropole, a former 16th century convent, but not just any convent. The 16th century Ospedale della Pieta, as it was known then, wasn't just a place for nuns to worship and contemplate. It was also an orphanage. In fact, you can still see the door where the newborn babies were passed into the sisters' arms. The boys were taught skills that could help them get jobs, but the girls, they were trained in music. By the 18th century, the orphan musicians had become one of the hottest tickets in Europe, thanks to one of their teachers, a man nicknamed the Red Priest, otherwise known as Antonio Vivaldi. I just wanted to give you a little peek into my room. I'm not going to show you around right now because it's kind of a disaster area. The Hotel Metropole is definitely more of a traditional vibe. It's not that sort of modern, airy type of thing that you're seeing in a lot of hotels now. This is definitely more intimate. It's more classical. I absolutely love it. I mean, when you have a Murano chandelier or a Murano sconce, can I speak? you're doing okay. So as I mentioned a little earlier, Castello is home to a couple of my favorite hangouts. And a lot of times when my friends who work there are done for the day, we'll head to one of the little bars along the Riva before they catch their vaporetto home. I'm with my friends. I'm with my friends. Okay, this is what happens after you see your friends and you haven't seen them for a long time. These are two of our best friends. We're sitting right across from the Grand Canal. We're trying to figure out a place to go for dinner with Moreno's wife, Gina, and Francesco and Judy. Daime is her real name. So we're trying to figure out a place to go for dinner on Monday night. But this is when the Venice Film Festival starts, so everything is booked. So they're calling a hotel, a very elegant hotel, called the Londra Palace, which is like right down there somewhere. And I don't know, but they just called them. They called and asked for the chef. I'm not really sure what's going on. But these two, they run a bar, Magna Bevitasi, which is one of my favorite places on the planet. They were drinking today, this morning, all day. So apparently they're a little drunk right now. But it should be interesting. We might have a reservation at Londra Palace, we might not. Who knows what's gonna happen. But this is one of the things that's so great about Venice. If you are open to it, you'll meet people and you'll end up hopefully becoming lifelong friends like these guys, these lunatics. He's very handsome, isn't he? He's not available, ladies. Castello definitely has an authentic vibe. You'll see lots of locals hanging out here, and the further away from St. Mark's Square you get, the more locals you're gonna see. Here's the thing about Magna Bevitasi. You're just as likely to sit next to a Venetian as you are a tourist. And to me, that is why I come here. One thing that you definitely need to know prior to coming to Europe, especially, hi. And you'll see what I mean. Don't be shocked, Americans, when you see a toilet like this. This is absolutely normal. It's a cultural thing. I'm not quite sure. I still haven't gotten an answer as to why they leave the lids off. My guess is that they just don't want people lingering in there forever, if you know what I mean. I find Venice's story mind-boggling. She literally rose out of a mosquito-infested swamp and somehow became one of the most sophisticated republics in world history. And the engine that propelled that rise to power was right here in Castello, the Arsenale. Back in its heyday around the 16th century, this shipbuilding complex would churn out a fully armed galley every single day. Today, the galleys have been replaced by galleries, hosting international art exhibitions like the Venice Biennale. All right, now we're gonna swing back around and head up to the northern edge of Castello, where you really start to feel that local vibe. But first, getting around Venice can be a little confusing, so you always have to kind of follow the signs for the Campos or the Rialto Bridge or San Marco. You'll see signs either painted or posted on the side of buildings that will direct you to the place that you need to go. You have a lot of serpentine calle, which are the alleyways. You have lots of little twists and turns and stops. You know, all of a sudden you go around a curve and you're like, wait a second, there's no more road, or there's a canal. Navigating can be challenging in a lot of ways, not just mentally, but physically as well. Couple pro tips for you. Number one, my feet hurt so bad. My feet hurt. Don't wear your Valentinos. Number two, when you're walking over a bridge, you walk on the right-hand side. You don't stop unless you're going to take a picture all the way over. Otherwise, you're going to get elbowed like I did earlier. Excuse me. Bottom line, guys, just keep it moving. We're walking through a typical Venetian neighborhood. This is Campo Santa Maria Formosa. As we make our way to my friend's amazing restaurant, we're going to pass through two of Castello's main campos. Within each of the Sestiere, there are a bunch of micro neighborhoods. Now remember, Venice isn't one big island. It's a cluster of roughly 118 little islands. And before all the footbridges connected them, getting around was a lot less convenient. Back then, life revolved around the church, which usually sat on a campo. Each micro neighborhood in a sestiere had its own personality. And just like it was more than 1,000 years ago, the campo was its soul. And over here, you have the hospital. This was actually, as you can see, once part of the church. This is Campo San Giovanni e Paolo, home to the island's main hospital, which was once part of this imposing 14th century basilica. Inside it are the tombs of the Venetian doges, most of them at least. I've known you for... Just a few steps from the basilica is my friend Elena's restaurant, alleyways. You're going to eat the whole thing, aren't you? Unlike Naples and Rome, Venice isn't really known for its pizza, and there's a good reason. Fire! Venice is a dense medieval city with lots of wood and tight spaces, a recipe for disaster should fire break out. There are a handful of places grandfathered in, but for the most part, wood-fired ovens are banned. But the pizza and homemade pasta here, deliciosa. This is our best friend, Federico. But the food is just the icing on the cake here. Alleyways is one of the few spots featuring live music, including a guy you've seen all over my videos, our best friend Federico.
You have time to find a card.
What are we doing? Oh my God.
Very wonderful food.
Right? It's the best food. Are you from the United States?
Yes.
The best food, right?
Come here and eat.
She's
very,
amazing.
Very good.
But Elaine is also beautiful and wonderful. She's my little Oh, I've got 2 pairs of sunglasses. That's funny. This is the thing about Venice. You just kind of walk and explore and see all these crazy things you've never seen before. I've been here, I don't know how many times. Like at this point, 30, maybe more. I make, one wrong turn and I find this incredible place. This is like a famous scene. I'm not sure what it is though. I'll get back to you on that. That is Palazzo Tetta, one of the most photographed landmarks in Venice. It's named after a family who settled here in the early 1600s from northern Croatia, which was at the time under Venetian rule. And it's apparently the only building in Venice surrounded by water on all 3 sides. No texting and driving, young man. No texting and driving. Speaking of, there's no better way to see Venice than by boat. And luckily, we know a guy. We are in our friend Jacopo's, what would you call this? Like a clubhouse? You
can call it garage, but isn't a garage because for us the garage is just where you park your car. Call it a magazzino.
That's Jacopo. We met him years ago at Osteria ai Specchieri, his restaurant and wine bar, which is just steps from St. Mark's Square. So if you just walk out the door and you walk down this little row here, at the end, turn left, and you're in St. Mark's Square. So it's very, very close. And unlike most of these places, this place, ai Specchieri, is owned by a Venetian. So it's not owned by foreign entities, which are basically driving everybody out of here. He's very lucky because he actually has a parking spot that is very rare here. But he's turned it into almost like a little bar. And he says that he's going to, eventually when his son Valentino is older, Valentino will be able to have this and hang out here with his, his friends and his girlfriends. So these were taken. There used to be an Irish bar here in Venice, but the owner said he just was kind of done. He retired. So Jacopo got these from the Irish bar. He's allowing us to carve our names into the chairs, which I think is kind of cool.
Bravo. Ero affezionato a quel tipo di imbarcazione.
Today he's taking us for a spin in the lagoon. This is what it looks like from a Venetian's boat on the canal. We feel very fortunate to know Jacopo, who literally takes us on this boat every time we're here, and we're so grateful. I don't know if you noticed this, but the gondoliers are quite handsome here. You go around a corner, he beeps his horn so that the people coming from the other side around the corner understand that he's coming by, because we don't want to decapitate any people sitting in gondolas. That would be bad. That would kind of ruin a trip. Oh my God, this is like insane. Oh my God. Oh.
It's my happy day, I want to sing it all the day. My best friends are always with me. We sing, we dance, we laugh, we are happy every day. Have fun with us, let's say happy, 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 happy.
Just like like Jacopo's man cave, Castello feels like a secret hideaway. Quiet, authentic, and depending on who you run with, a little wild too.
Happy, 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 happy.